My name is Reverend Ahmed Zumunta. I am a pastor with Ekwa Kaduna Central DCC, and I'm pastoring a local church called Ekwa Gospel Prison Barrack, Kaduna. And the recent name for the prison barrack is now called Correctional Service. So we are there. We're two pastors in the church, and I'm privileged to be the one leading. And with this, I'm glad that we are there, and God is with us, and God is working in our midst. We are called to be with the Lord and to serve Him. And the primary service for the Lord is mission, is to evangelize the world. And so the question is asking what motivation that came that has brought about our interest. It shouldn't be any reason to motivate us or a Christian to do the mission work. It is a mandate for every believer to, after accepting Christ, and to be able to make use of his gift to support the mission. And I have one thing I have said when I was a leader at the Jos Theological Seminary in Pastoral Department. I made a presentation and I said, we should understand, we pastors should understand that our position is like that of Eve and Adam. Adam gave birth once to Eve, so to say. And then the next birth is Eve giving birth to mankind. So wherever a pastor is or finds himself, you should know that it's a missionary that planted that church. So the next thing that is expected is for the church to give birth to missionaries to prepare to reach out to people. So that is a seed. Every church is a seed for mission. And so that is my basic, and it's a platform for every Christian or churches. So our church is trying to do it. We came up there, we came into the church and we discovered that the support for mission was no longer working. And so we have to sit down and talk about it. We called the attention of the EMS coordinator. So he discovered that we were having a missionary in that church before. So it got stopped somewhere. And so we said, oh, we are going to try prayerfully so that God will bless us so that we can use it, not just praying. Everybody is praying, but to support it, we have to use money. So we have started doing that, and so far we have not reached the new stipends for missionary, but we are praying and hoping that God will help us to be able to meet up with that. So that's how we came up about it. It's a burden that every believer should have for mission, for the dying or for the unsaved world. Personally, I like sharing what I have with missionaries. But that is on personal ground, and it's not something either through coordinator or any other person. And I do visit mission fields. The last one we had with my wife was to spend 4 days at Nasarawa State. Where do they call it? Karu, New Karu. So there's another DC that's created, and that part is we spend 4 days in the bush with the missionaries over there, and we find pleasure in doing that. So that's on personal ground. And then the recent golden support and all of that, we try to key into it. So I always try to know all the numbers of the children were like 7 or 8, and then I try to see that at the end of the year, we're like up to 10. So we pay like 60,000 or 500 per month and all of that for each person. And then our daughter happened to be recruited as a short service as a flight officer, and I told her, now you are established, continue to do your own support to mission. So recently I asked her to do that, so she did the multiplication of the 500 golden support and sent for the missions. And I have friends also that I talk to them about mission. When I hear about mission, it's something we should. It's a burden that you cannot see or cannot hear and go to sleep. That is not happening with you, or it is well. Well, people are dying. So that's how part of it. And then um, in the church, we recently have uh, established a committee, mission committee, and that mission committee is working. We have set some amount for members to contribute so that we'll be able to meet up. And part of the mission is extended to the inmates because we are living in the barrack, and we went inside to talk with them, to visit them, and they told us something that pained me. And in fact, we cried when they say they are surprised that the church is in the barrack, but they are not feeling our presence. So they have not felt since the time we went, according to them. And then we apologize that this is a mistake. The Lord says, when I came, you was in prison, you visited me. I was in hospital or sick, you visited, and all of that. So we have also established a mission with them. So far this year, we're able to rescue one inmate. We will go, they will give us the list of those, the amount they are owing, and that if they pay, they will be set free. We have already in our midst retired justice, when Justice David Shiri Yoms retired. He's the one helping us. So he handled the last one, I mean the first one we started, and we're able to take him to court, pay all that he was supposed to pay, and he's now acquitted and discharged, released from the prison. So these are some of the things that we're trying to explain so that the membership will see. Then that of the missionaries, we still raising money is not up to. We have just put small inside the mission, I mean DCC coordinators account, and we'll be doing that. So this is some of the challenges that I feel. Actually, I was called, and I had the call to be a missionary. That was how I started, and I applied to Kaduna's DCC one Kaduna then, and I was called to go for the interview. And I went, and then one Reverend Baba Gwanzan and told me that the ECWA have started taking lay people, so I have to go to seminary. So when I went to seminary, from seminary that I was retained to be a teacher in the school. So that was how my vision for mission ended, and I became a teacher. And I thank God that being a teacher is also another way of giving birth to missionaries. All right, so it's a burden that is in me from my desire or my callings to be, to be a Christian and to be a pastor. In fact, there was a time I just said we're going for pastors' conference in Abuja. Then I bought a chicken that I'm going to give to the missionary in the field. When we reach the conference ground, I will pass to the missionary field and go and give them a chicken, a live chicken. So, and things like that. So when to have a burden for a missionary is something that you share all your life. I have one thing that I'm emphasizing is that the Christian, I'm using we Christian, who are called to serve the Lord, should know that all that you possess, all is for God's purpose. All, because the teaching, the New Testament teaching is telling us that the Lord, when he saw you, when he called you, he gave you some money. Whether you call it £10 or 10 talent or 5 talent or £5. It's simply talking about all that the person possesses, and what we will account tomorrow is how much have you used from that one to serve the Lord. Some people will get 100% because all they have is for mission. So the more they get, the more they give. The more they get, the more they give. But some of us, out of greed, will be giving small. That is why Jesus will say, "Son made 5, son made 3, or somebody made 10." And he say, "Okay, take 10 cities. You take 5 cities." So it's no longer the way we think that because I'm giving my tithes, I'm giving my this, let that go for mission. There should be special use of our resources for mission as the Lord lays in our hearts. Because sometimes I forget anything missionary. I'll be thinking my things, I'll be thinking inwardly or within the church, particularly we ministers. Like I said, we forget that where we are was planted by a missionary. And for us to replicate and be giving birth to churches is becoming a difficulty things to us. So I want to open up to say that we ministers of God must change our perspective of what mission is all about. If mission is not the cardinal part or number one in the pastoral, if we can do that, God will bless us and God will prosper. That is why we can even see from the reaction of members in their giving. If you truly will talk about mission, they will show concern. They are so passionate about that. But when you talk about anything, and we think it is they are misplacing priority, no, that is the pastoral priority, mission. And I hope and I wish that we get to the level of handling our missionaries as the pioneer missionary came, because I was privileged to walk into their houses to do one or two things, that you find that they have everything that is needed in the field. I mean everything. When you talk about tools and all that they will live to survive and all of that, to be able to even help the community. But as for me, it has reached a point that many of them are a disgrace in the mission field. They are beggars. They are pitiful people. They are people who are looking for survival. Instead of somebody that's looking at you and say, take this Panadol, you are looking for him to give you Panadol. Well, you visited him in the name of saving him. So I think this aspect, if there's any orientation, if there's any opportunity for seminars for us pastors to see better, because when I was going through this course, I was so blessed when Reverend Dr. Naho was taking his course in the seminary. I remembered one of the things he told us as pastors is that you can one day leave your service. It's part of mission. Don't worship in the church. Look for a football field. Look for a community and tell the church, we are not worshiping in the church today. We are worshiping out there. And you change your pattern of liturgy because we are in the mission field now. We are not in the church. So if you have a minister like that is teaching, we are being trained like that. If we go back, I think when we posted to churches, all we're supposed to do is to implement some of those things. We'll see how God will bless the church. Without mission, we have no blessing. So whenever I'm collecting offering for mission in my church, I sing this song. I'm a musician. Even last Sunday I sang it. The 2 Sundays ago, Bishara ya zama dole. Hanyoyi bishara suna da yawa. Za ka iya addu'a, za ka iya tafiya, za ka iya bayaswa. It's an ancient song sung by one musician. So, I mean, without motivation of members, even we pastor, what we think we don't want it to go for mission, it will never be given to us. So it's better to talk about mission so that the door will be open for both mission and pastoral aspect of it. It will work. As ECWA, I'm seriously concerned that in our district churches, there should be special plans for mission. Even as ECWA is thinking of urban mission, it should be part of number one in the heart of the DCC, so that we can plant churches. When I was the district secretary, I know how many churches were planted. And my expectation that we do, at least I made the presentations to the entire pastor of the DCC when I was given a privilege that day. We can plant 3 churches in a year. And if the Lord blesses us, we can do more than that in a year. And we always have fields where pastors can move and work than to stay and be looking into those old churches that were there and that are there and we are struggling and scrambling for. So that is the aspect of ECWA. And members, I believe since God is at work and already there's understanding among members of ECWA, I believe even if we can make up our mind, if I can say every month I'll have 1,000 naira for missionary, we will never be poor. The members of the church should know that this is a key to their blessings. It's something that you just test and remain in it. Many will see and we ask, how are you making it in your life? It's because you are giving from your resources like a stream flowing without cutting. So every month that goes, that is how the blessings will flow through our families, our children, and even the generations to come. And globally, even the Great Commission, it's clearly, the Bible, Jesus said, go into the world. He didn't say, go into your villages. And so calling for the global church is let's do what is called harnessing or synergy with other ministries that the Lord is using them. I pray that ECWA will go to that length to identify, because I believe there are other ministries that are so passionate about the gospel to preach. And if ECWA happen to encounter such people, we support mission, because ECWA is strongly emphasizing mission. And I can see the number that we have in ECWA of missionary. It's great. So let those ministry know, let those organizations, those Christian, whether in the West, in the Middle East, and ECWA is now global. So there should be that globalizing mission synergy or strength together, so that our problem will not be resources, monetarily, silver and gold. It should be human resources. Who will go? So that's where I feel it's a, for me, the Lord is able to do it. A prophet, the spirit of a prophet is subject to a prophet. If ECWA will scout for such supporters globally, ECWA will get.